Once upon a time, in the city of London, there lived 3 siblings, Wendy, John, and Michael Darling. They lived in a cozy nursery where Wendy, the eldest, loved to tell her brothers stories about pirates, mermaids, and a magical boy who could fly named Peter Pan. One night, as the children were preparing for bed, an extraordinary thing happened. Peter Pan himself flew into their nursery, accompanied by a tiny, glowing fairy named Tinker Bell. Peter had come to retrieve his shadow, which had been caught by the Darling's dog, Narner. When Wendy sewed Peter's shadow back onto him, he was so delighted that he invited her and her brothers to come to his home in Neverland, a magical place where children never grow up. With a sprinkle of Tinker Bell's fairy dust and a happy thought, Wendy, John, and Michael soared out of their window, following Peter Pan through the starry sky to Neverland. Neverland was unlike anything they had ever imagined. It was a land filled with adventure and wonder. The mermaids swam in sparkling lagoons, fairies fluttered through enchanted forests, and Peter's group of loyal companions, the Lost Boys, roamed freely. But Neverland was also home to danger. The dreaded Captain Hook, a cunning pirate with a hook for a hand, sought revenge on Peter Pan for cutting off his hand and feeding it to a crocodile. The crocodile, now always ticking from a swallowed clock, constantly pursued Hook, hoping for the rest of him. Peter introduced Wendy as a Mother Eve for the Lost Boys, and she began to tell them bedtime stories. Meanwhile, Captain Hook plotted to capture Peter and his friends. Using trickery, Hook lured Wendy, John, Michael, and the Lost Boys onto his pirate ship. Peter Pan, with the help of Tinker Bell, launched a daring rescue. In the thrilling battle that followed, Peter dueled Captain Hook while the Lost Boys fought the pirates. At last, Hook was chased off the ship by the ticking crocodile and disappeared into the horizon. Victorious, Peter offered to take Wendy and her brothers back to London. Though Neverland was a magical place, Wendy realized it was time to return home and grow up. She knew that while childhood adventures were wonderful, growing up brought its own kind of magic. Peter Pan flew the Darling children back to their nursery, where their parents were overjoyed to see them safe. Wendy invited Peter to stay, but he refused, choosing to return to Neverland where he would never grow up. As the Darlings watched Peter and Tinker Bell disappear into the night sky, they knew they would always cherish the memories of their extraordinary adventures in Neverland. Moral of the story: while the joys of childhood are magical, growing up is an important and natural part of life, bringing new adventures, responsibilities, and the opportunity to create lasting memories.